my name is Ryan, and I'm a student of ILLLI, the Institute for Leadership and Lifelong Learning International. ILLLI comes into my life, and I believe it'll come into yours as a great blessing and divine timing, as ILLLI came into my life when I wanted to put my whole self in, to truly step up to that small voice within that is getting louder for me to step up as a leader in today's world. Whether you're looking for spiritual leadership or even ordination, ILLLI is unlike any institute out there. It is self-paced, it's affordable, and it offers classes on empowerment, well-being, spirituality, public speaking, courses on stopping yourself, and new thought, spiritual heritage, and much, much more. You are going to be able to have all the tools you need to be able to assist in your conscious expansion and your leadership skills expanding like never before. Check out ILLLI at illi.org and awaken to your soul's mission.
Till the end, we're going to have a strong finish, strong faith, strong faith. We're gonna have strong finish, oh, strong faith, strong finish, strong finish, strong faith, strong faith, strong finish, strong faith, strong faith. Listen, life transitions all in my way. Each and every day, no matter what, I continue to run for the rest of my life. Till my work is done, we're going to have a strong finish. Gonna have strong faith. Gonna have strong finish. We got strong faith. Strong faith. Strong finish. Strong finish. We got strong faith. Strong faith. Gonna have a strong finish.
an amazing, talented, incredible voices. Yes? Let's just go ahead and thank all of our team for being here. And I thought you found a puppy in there or something. I thought, no, I was hoping like, oh, something else I could take home and say, look what I found. There is one thing stronger than all the armies of the world, and that is an idea whose time has come. I'll say that again. It's a beautiful quote. It's Victor Hugo, actually. There's one thing stronger than all the armies of the world, and that is an idea whose time has come. And when we're here and we're into celebration and we're into feeling this energy, many of us are reflecting upon the years ago that we actually had a processional walk, that we actually were certified before we lived long enough to be dignified. But we are feeling this multitude of feelings, and there are other people that are here to support, that will be impacted and affected in ways of a rippling effect of the idea whose time has come that you don't even know yet. And there's other ones of you, as I told our new ordain reverends in just a minute, of the fact that entering that door, their path will no longer be the same, because you will be a human being, perhaps even a more expanded human being, but you will always ask the question, what would a reverend do? Not with what my personality do. What would a reverend do in the grocery line? What would a reverend do when someone's mad at me? What would a reverend do when there's a collective and there's an issue? What would a reverend do? And in that space, there comes answers of uniqueness and intuitiveness and awareness, and one grows. But ILLI's mission is it's the soul mission to awaken the heart, right? To bring forth and open the heart of the world. And just so you know, as we're gathered here in celebration, to me, the story of all the pieces that came together. Because in our society, it's more trained to instant gratification. Here we are, let's get the thing, let's make it happen. ILLI started about 5 or 6 years ago when a bunch of us would meet in the conference room and we would write out conferences and conventions, board members, Reverend Richard, and we would sit down and think about inviting ministers from all over the country and teaching them how First Unity became what First Unity became. Diversity, inclusion, etc. And it started out with this idea of conventions and having people come here. And then it evolved more, yes? And we talked about having a guest singer come named Wanda Nero Butler from Atlanta. And we talked about the importance of healing and revealing. And Reverend Kimberley wasn't here yet. And so in that, my point to you is more so how it affects and can impact you as an individual. The idea that you have today, it may take on many different forms. Many different ways. You may change your mind a number of times, but the divine mind within you will find you and point to the highest way for something to evolve. Yes? And it will call forth this emerging self of you that you pay attention to what knocks on your door 3 times. As far as someone saying to me, you need to start a school. And I went, hello, me a school? Are you kidding me? I mean, what would that look like? Okay. I mean, that was really my answer. When Unity Worldwide Headquarters, Jim Blake called me and said, Barbara King started a school. Why don't you start one? And I said, that's a lot. And 2 weeks later, someone makes an appointment with me, Dr. Aileen Curtin, and said, I'm here and I'm teaching. I'm from university. I've created PhDs for college students. I'm giving you the short version. She didn't tell me all that in our first date, okay? And then she goes, and I love giving, I love serving. And I went, well, how would you like to start a school? How would you like to start a school? So an idea whose time had come is not measured by human time. It's measured by spirit time. And that's so important for all of you to remember. And whatever it is that you have this idea of your life or this vision, is to honor the timing. Because if it's not the law of reciprocity, as the sun is working with the plant is also reaching towards the sun. If that synergy doesn't exist, the unfoldment is not ready. Do you understand that? And so here we are. Here we are. More than a celebration, but to ignite a reality of all the years of the support of the Board of Trustees here at First Unity, of all the people who have lived their joys and their mistakes. I love that in ministry, in the mistakes, to be able to teach other people of, you really don't have to go through that. That's not really necessary. But you use your life lessons to be considered a teacher. And one of the greatest teachers I have ever met in my lifetime, and as you're probably getting, I've been here a while on this planet, and it just touches my heart to introduce her. She is like grace. She is like inner power. She is like quiet genius. She is sacred warrior, and I adore her, and her name is Dr. Aileen Curtin.
Thank you, Reverend Temple. And yes, we are here to celebrate our inaugural ordination, our 3 first graduates from the Institute of Leadership and Lifelong Learning International, which was founded in 2018. And I would like to name you, and I'd like you to stand and face the audience. Reverend Indira Grace Huerta, Reverend Carolyn D. Ballinger, please. And Reverend Sandra Rochelle Kidd. Congratulations. We are so proud of you, and you can now sit and relax while I say a few words. And what I want to talk about is what you have accomplished. You stayed the course, you have completed. And people will say, why get credentialing? Why go through another program? Why go through a spiritual leadership program for ordination? Many people just go online, print off a certificate, right? So credentialing, and you here are very accomplished people. You have you have degrees among you. You have master's degrees, you have bachelor's degrees, and you chose to take the last 18 months to 2 years consciously and intentionally. And credentialing and completing means that you are within your heart have a humility that says, I want to be a spiritual leader. I am ready. But I feel like I need to be mentored. I need to be supported. I need to be guided. That's the difference. And so when you stepped into our program, you stepped into a rigorous program where so the audience will know, they had approximately 12 months, 22 courses that varied from metaphysics to health to wellness to ministerial courses, how to support all the aspects of ministry. And they successfully completed all of those and then chose at the end of that learning period, which, by the way, is self-paced. So we have several others who are in the program, and that is, our program is flexible and it fits and suits where people's lives are. So there's never a rush or pushing you through at a certain date. You three happen to come along at the same time. And upon completion of all of that coursework, they made the determination that they wanted to step forward for ordination. So they continued onwards for the last I think it's about 6 or 7 months. And they have continued on that path. And tonight we are honoring and celebrating your ordination. And completing when it's very tempting to sometimes, and going through COVID and this time when it would have been very easy to give up, would be very easy to just put aside. A lot of people begin. It's very easy to begin when the books are new and the program is new and the excitement is over. But the endurance to keep going. And it is the endurance and the perseverance that you will need in your path as ministers. And I applaud you for staying the course. And it is slow and steady wins the race. And if you remember Aesop's fables, the hare and the turtle, it's the turtle that wins the race. It's not the hare who says, oh yes, this is easy, I can do this. So I applaud you. And the importance of credentialing is you are connected to all of those faculty that you studied courses with. You are always connected to Reverend Dr. Temple Hayes. You are connected to the Institute for Leadership and Lifelong Learning. And credentialing means that people know your lineage, where your training came from, who trained you, who prepared you. And the most significant part of your preparation for this day has been going deep, diving within yourselves. You have explored who you are. You have let go of limiting behaviors. And in preparing yourself for ministerial work, you in fact have spent the last 18 months releasing limiting beliefs about yourselves, releasing conditioned behaviors that, by the way, we're all born into, whether we realize it or not. And you've learned that the world is changed when you change yourselves. So right now, I applaud you. And I love using the image of the lotus. So the lotus flower in yoga and in enlightenment is a seed that takes 2 years to grow out of the mud and the silt and the dark. But it is all unseen. And so in many ways, your past 18-month, 2-year journey has been unseen, underground, because you have been doing the internal work of preparing your hearts, preparing your spirits for this work. And now we get to see you tonight as the beautiful lotus blossom flower. And I congratulate you for that. And so, yeah, so thank you.
My desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore. You know your love keeps on lifting me, keep on lifting me higher and higher. I said your love keep on lifting me higher and higher. You said now once I was downhearted. Disappointment was my closest friend. But then you came
I love working with this team because they know that I'm more focused on going with the flow than I am following the flow sheet. And so, when we think of love, really, what I know that we're looking at, or I have found in my own life, the love for the work that I feel called to do exceeds the love of my personality. It is true, what is said in Scripture in whatever way you quote it. It is not I, but the Spirit within me who doeth the work. It is not I, but the Spirit within me who doeth the work. Right? I mean, so many of us can look at each other and go, how did I even freaking survive myself? I mean, what a mess I was. I mean, and so it is a greater reality when you are called and you say yes to the calling, is that the calling keeps pulling you, right? And it keeps calling out greater attributes and aspects of yourself. And so we have a special honoring for all three of you. Because keep in mind, as Aileen said, yes, you started 18 months, 2 years ago. In my opinion, in addition and adding to what she said, not my opinion is bigger than her opinion. I won't touch that. She's the one wearing the hat. Don't. And I know some of you, like me, are trying to figure out how you get one of those, because that's really cool. But that being said, in that space, what I know, you're sitting here, but what I know is the idea of where you are today started before your incarnation. And that is the disconnect often of humanity. I want to do great things. I don't want to have any problems. And if I were destined to do great things, why do I have financial issues? Why do I have health issues? Why have people broken my heart? Why have I had abandonment? Why has it been so hard? Or why am I just too much? Right? And it is because you are shape-shifting. Because had you not had problems, had you not been abandoned, had you not been rejected, had you not had to look at your self-esteem might be too much or not enough, or a healing and revealing, well, who would you serve? You would just continue the robotic humanity of just being followers versus activating the leaders of people. You wouldn't be activating the soul's mission to awaken the heart of the world. Yes? So I am going to invite our other ministers to come up, and if they would remain masked, that would be helpful. So our other ministers to come up and spread out throughout the largeness of the platform. Thank you. And what is really beautiful is the element of surprise. So in Dear Grace, I'm going to invite you to come up first. And Dear Grace comes to us from Lee's Summit, actually Unity Village, Missouri. And Indira Grace is also on faculty of Unity Worldwide Ministries. And she is an influencer of their spiritual education programs. So just so you know, and my heart just sees you and experiences you and witnesses you, and wow, what an incredible human being you are. And we have a little gift for you on video.
Hello. My name is Reverend Matthew Starcher. Some of you may know me. I wanted to take a moment just to welcome you, this graduating class of ILLLI, welcome you to the path of ministry, and to hold with you the awareness that as you move forward, that you step boldly into doing that which the universe, spirit, divine intelligence, whatever you call it, step forward boldly to do that which you are being called to do, knowing that the universe fully supports you in every way. So I just want to acknowledge your accomplishment and welcome you to this path. But there's one particular member of this class who I'm here to acknowledge and welcome and share my love with, and that is Indira. Indira, we had planned for me to be physically present with you during this ordination. However, the universe had other cards to play, and that's okay. I am still on my way to Sarasota, however it's been delayed, but Reverend Temple was so wonderful as to ask me if I would like to say something. And I just want to let you know that I love you, and I want to acknowledge your accomplishment. I want to behold the Christ that is within you, and invite you to remember that as you hear those nudges, those gentle callings, move forward and step forward boldly. Because I know Reverend Temple has prepared each one of you to be true difference makers in this world. So welcome to the path. It is a path of personal transformation. It is a wonderful path, and I know each and every one of you will do great things, will continue to do great things. And I just hold that with you. Indira, I love you, and I bless you. Namaste.
Of course, you would have feathers. And so every person here from every walk of life is running energy into your heart and into your chakras and aligning you with the greater essence of who you are. You're holding that divine core power within you. And we are so looking forward to watching you and your journey unfold. Yes.
Thank you. Matthew and I worked in the prayer room together at Silent Unity. It is because of Matthew that I am here, because I told him I was interested in going into the ministerial program, and he said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I want to change the world." And he said, "Then you need Temple." And he told me all about her, and I went home and I binge watched her on YouTube.
My mother did that too.
And I applied, and the rest is history. However, I wanted to share with you the day that I found out that I was accepted to her ministerial school. In our apartment, we have this archway. And I walked under the archway, and something shifted inside of me. And the only way that you can describe this is a shamanic journey of sorts. And it shifted, and all of a sudden I felt responsible. I had this amazing, beautiful responsibility for being that Christ light, for uplifting the world. And I do take it very seriously. And I quote Meister Eckhart when I say, if the only prayer we ever say is thank you, that's more than enough. And so thank you.
Bless you. And now we would invite Reverend Ballinger up, Reverend Carolyn. Look at her, she's breathing in every moment. Yeah. Well, what a journey it has been. An amazing poet, person from the heart, lots of passion, tempering the passion. Yes. What a journey. And for you, it's been beautiful to watch too, because you've had all the support of all of your family. You know, where often a lot of people have a calling and they have no support. They have no support. Or their family thinks they're part of a cult or, something. I had that family. But you live long enough that everybody knows that's not true, right? Because people actually take the time to get the information. But you're very fortunate that you have all your family here to love you and to be with you. And we have a surprise for you as well.
Hi, Carolyn.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Grandma.
We're here tonight to just let you know how very, very proud we are of you on this night of your ordination as a minister. This is something we've all seen coming for a very long time, since that first time you and I stepped foot in the Unity Church over 30 years ago. 15 plus years you've been studying to get to this evening, and we could not be more proud of you. And we just want you to know that we cannot wait to see what your ministry has to hold, and we'll be with you, supporting you as we have all along your journey. And just know that we love you, and we're so proud.
Congratulations, Grandma. We love you.
Love you. Love you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And they're all here this evening, if you haven't noticed, and they made a wonderful cake that they would love to share with everyone after our gathering this evening. So, absolutely. So, how to serve you with grace, with feeling that energy and that essence and that power. The secret, my dear, is you don't become something different. You learn how to be yourself. There are no sides. There's no separation. Yes.
Like my sister said, it was 30 years since I first walked into a Unity Church, and I knew I was home. I knew I was around like-minded people. And 15 years ago, when I first started ministry leadership in Ohio with Robin Thomas Volker, she was the first person that really saw in me something that I didn't see in myself. And then I came here, and Reverend Dr. Temple Hayes allowed me to share this stage with her and to share my poetry through song, and to just share my poetry. And my mom got to hear me speak and read. And I'm just so very blessed that I stayed the course and that I went through all that I needed to. I examined myself. I went inside and I released some emotions, deep set emotions and ways of being that I had been since I was little. And I let go, and I'm now ready to step into a new way of being. And I'm just so thankful that Sandra was on this journey with me the whole way. We supported each other, and my whole family has been there with me. And I had donors the whole way, the whole 15 years, that helped me to support me financially, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Thank you, everybody who was there for me.
Are you ready to step up and make a difference in the world? Ready to follow your soul's mission? If you have been looking for a sign towards a new direction in life, the Institute for Leadership and Lifelong Learning may be just the path you've been looking for. With a spiritual leadership program that provides guidance and a clear path for those who are called, ILLI offers a unique and empowering opportunity of growth and empowerment. Fully embodying the role of a spiritual leader requires you to be present for your own life so that you can serve and guide others. Freeing yourself from your own self-limiting thoughts and behaviors is a must if you seek to be a beacon of light and hope to others along their journey. As an ILLI ordained spiritual leader, you will be invited to continue on your path of learning with our institute and beyond. Graduates of our program may become teachers or faculty, mentors or coaches with ILLI, and the licensing we provide will provide you with many options to become a difference maker in the world.
And so, Sandra, we definitely have a special video for you as well.
Hi, I'm BB. I've known Sandra Kitt for many years, and throughout our times, our paths continue to cross. At First Unity, as chaplains, our retreats, the chaplain retreats are awesome, and even a trip to Brazil. She continues to be an inspiration to me, such with her love of life and her tenacity to live out 100%. She's amazing. Congratulations on this wonderful completion for your ILLI education and becoming Reverend Sandra Kitt. Way to go, girl. Love ya, BB.
So, full disclosure, when BB did the first video and she was almost finished, factual, I have it. If you want to see it after you get your cake, ask me. She was finished with the video and a fly flew and landed right on their nose. And see, I love flies. I love all insects. They're very important because they represent new beginnings in the winged creatures, right? And they represent the spiritual tools of cutting away. And many of you may not be aware, but Sandra is an educator. She was a major in the military. And a few years ago, she was given the wrong medication. And as you'll read in her part in the new book coming out that we'll have next week, Mayhem to Miracle, you will come to realize that when myself and another minister went to see her in ICU, after they had given her the wrong medication, she could move one knuckle and she could blink her eyes. And as we walked in, everybody was shaking their head. And I walked into that room and I looked at her because I too had known her a number of years, and I said, "What in the world are you doing here? Do you want out of here? Because if you do, blink your eyes, because this is not how you're going out." And she blinked her eyes. To me, she has been one of the greatest teachers in this community, because we have so many things every day in our lives that come just so expected. And for Sandra, she had to learn how to do everything. I applaud you. I stand before you. I honor the holy, sacred teacher that you are, and I will always tell your story because it's very important to be told. We'll take the mask off.
Thank you, Temple. I love you.
Love you.
And I'm so honored to be part of the Institute of Lifelong Learning. It's this path started long ago. I like how Temple talks about before I was born. And I didn't know it yet, but I'm sure that's true.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a while to find unity and to find the path that resonated with my heart. And I just want to thank all my Unity family and all my friends for all the support and encouragement. And I'm just overwhelmed with this moment and the opportunity to grow and to become more of service. Thank you.
And so we hold the sacred space for you. We see the truth of you, the knowing of you, the expression of you, and the best is always yet to come. Yes.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I just want to talk a little bit about ministry as a calling. Everybody who gets a call has their own personal number. Your calling didn't come from my number. My calling didn't come from your number.
Wanda, you can take your mask off.
Tell your neighbor, God got your number. There was a saying going around in the late 80s, push. And they said, pray until something happens. But tonight I want to share with you, persevere until something happens. In ministry, there are schools, there is a way. Each organization has their own way for ministers to conduct themselves or speak or what, they're cookie cutter boxes. This is how it goes. But in unity, it's all spirit. So what spirit tells you to do may not be what spirit tells you to do or you to do. And they may not always seem to agree. But as long as you persevere on your path, you do it until something happens. Wisdom is wisdom. A good word shared with you is a good word shared with you. But that doesn't mean that that's the way it always goes. There was a time when I was doing my gospel recording touring, and we were in Chicago, and we were in the lobby of the hotel, a lot of us singers and whatever. And so the host came up to the crowd and walked up to my sister and said, "Are you the artist? Are you Wanda Nero Butler?" Because she was very grand. And she had her own little entourage. And, she was, and I was over in the corner going, no, it's me. But she carried the aura, or she was walking in the box of the way gospel recording artists were supposed to look and how they were supposed to act, and the entourage and bring me a cup of water. And she was doing all of that. She was in my box. But that wasn't me. There was a time when Reverend Richard, all the female evangelists had the lace handkerchiefs. They had the Pentecostal women's suits and those handkerchiefs. And people would buy them for me and send them to me. And, ooh, look at this one, and it has lace everywhere. So when you sling your arm, that handkerchief is gonna go there. And I was like, somebody bring me a roll of paper towel. Bring me a towel. Sweat is sweat. I could not fit in the cookie cutter mold of what Pentecost thought an evangelist was. I just, you need to wear the big hat and the big flower and the big. Just wasn't me. I had to follow the spirit. I had to follow, and in some instances it may have cost me levels of grandeur, but it just wasn't me. What I enjoyed was, I was about to commit suicide, and I put your record on. And it saved my life. Keep your handkerchief. You see what I'm saying? Because Spirit has led me to save someone's life. So always follow Spirit. Even when the naysayers say that's not the way to do it. Follow the Spirit. Follow what God has put in your heart. You may never be a pulpit minister. You may be the lady at the grocery store pushing your buggy, and Spirit said, go talk to that lady right there. Been there, done that. Walked up to a young man one day. I said, I know your mama just told you blah, 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 blah. But I'm feeling like you should go a different way. It'll save your life. And he just looked at me. But that's where Spirit pushed me. So always be open to the Spirit. Never be status quo. Because those boxes lead somewhere. There is and the humbler you are, I have had people, even when I first started coming here, I never had Reverend on my name. I came here Wanda, Nero, but. And one day we were over in LaGatutta Hall, and somebody said, are you a minister? I was like, yeah. Why didn't you say anything? Why don't you? I said, because if you can't see it in me, there's no need of me waving a flag. Huh? No need of me walking in pomp and circumstance and telling you who I am, and you can't see it in me. You can't feel it from me. That is more important than waving your ordination papers. Is if people feel like they need to come to you for spiritual guidance. They will be pulled, Spirit will pull them to you. That's more important. Because then you're walking in a calling. And not just a cause. Because. Yes? I love you. All right.
In other words, be spiritual.
Be spiritual. Let me sing, y'all.
You're not a natural being, having a spiritual experience, but you're a spiritual being, living this natural experience. You're not a natural being, having a spiritual experience, but you're a spiritual being, living this natural experience every day. Every day. When you wait, your confession constantly say, oh Lord, let me be spiritual. Ooh, yeah. Spiritual. Wanna be. Let me be spiritual. Let me be spiritual. Spiritual.
You're not a natural being.
Sing, Daniel.
Having a spiritual experience, but you're a spiritual being. Living this natural experience. You're not a natural being. Having a spiritual experience, but you're a spiritual being. Living this natural experience. Every day. When you wake up out of bed in the spiritual.
Let me be spiritual.
Everything is spiritual.
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 Let me be spiritual.
Just let me be, let me be
spiritual.
Let me be spiritual.
Let me be spiritual.
I want to dwell in the spirit.
Spiritual.
Spiritual. I'm talking about love. Love. Joy. Peace. Long suffering.
And on Sunday morning, this is usually asked when I take up the offering, but not tonight. That's not my duty. In all seriousness, tonight reminds me of about 25 or 26 years ago of myself. When I had finished up seminary school at the Earl Polk Institute in Atlanta, Georgia. And I had the great time finishing up seminary school because during that time I got to stand on the shoulders of great leaders. And I still do. Reverend Temple, she's not only a friend, but she's a fabulous leader. She speaks positive affirmation into my life on a daily basis. So know that it's your DNA that you place on people's lives, like Reverend Temple has myself. I'll go back to my bishop in Atlanta, who would have been almost 100 years old now if he had lived. But I remember on his deathbed, the DNA that he had put on my life for years and years and years, just from the platform and on a personal level, because he was like a granddaddy to me. And he continued to feed that into my life. And he said to me, laying in the bed, because he spent his last 3 years in a hospital bed. And I would go over and cut his hair for him and shave him, and he would tell me beautiful stories of ministry, because he'd been in ministry like 75 years. And he said, son, you're going to touch people that I could never touch. And knowing that that is part of your DNA, he put his DNA on me. And now I say, I love putting my DNA on the people that I touch. I'm going to tell you, sisters, and there's no brothers with us, so I'll address the sisters. Ministry is not easy. And it makes me think of 2 Timothy, I think it's 2:15. It says, study and prove your worth, basically. And metaphysically, study really meant what Wanda had said earlier, is persevere. In your ministry, always persevere. And always be conscious of how you persevere, because people are always watching you. And that watching of you is also your DNA being on them. And I'll ask you to look around the room and look at how many people here are here because you've touched them. I often think about DNA and I think about Grandma. We do so many things, and I'm looking across the room, I see a lot of, I won't say age across the face, but I'll say life across faces. So we've seen our grandmas come and go. And we sometimes do things out of the mere fact of, well, that's the way my grandma did it. Whether it was right or wrong, that's the way Grandma did it. And Grandma had placed her DNA on you. And know in ministry every day, again, I'll go back, ministry is not easy. There will be nights that you've spent the day crying and you're so glad to close your eyes and go to sleep. Young ministers in training. But know in your heart of hearts, the beauty of it is your study has not gone in vain. Ministry every day is still the continuation of that study. Study is not ending when you end with this institute. The study, the progression of your ministry it's sort of like ministry is an ongoing university. And know that when you close the door, that's when the voice stops talking to you. Remain open, exposing your DNA to everyone that you come in contact with. And know that that is ministry. Some of you may or may not know, I also own a couple of salons. Tell you what, talk about ministry. If I charged for the counseling I did from behind that chair. And it's true. And no matter what, even in the rest of the room, no matter what industry that you're in, everyone is a minister. You're placing your DNA, your ministry DNA, on every single person that you come in contact with. I'll tell you a funny story about myself. Christian and I are often driving through a drive-through, and he gets so bewildered that I carry on so much with the people that work in the drive-through. I'll have them laughing. I'll be singing to them. I'll sing to them in a heartbeat. I want to sing to them because you know what? I want to place the joy DNA because they may be having the worst day of their lives. And if I have the opportunity to put my DNA on them that can make a difference in their life, it's ministry. So whatever facet, whatever industry you're in, you may be a bank teller, you may be an accountant, a doctor. I wish more doctors realized that was a ministry. That's another story, another topic, another day. But know that your DNA is so important. DNA is so important, it's the most important thing in the universe. God did not create your DNA by accident. That's why each of our DNAs are totally, totally different, like our thumbprints. So I will say to you, sisters, as you journey into your ministry, have an open heart and be willing to share your DNA. Sometimes it won't be easy. You will feel like somebody has robbed you, and you will want to cry. You may even want to cuss. I'll give you the permission for that. But no, at the end of the day, when you do lay down, as I was saying, and making a jest about laying down at the end of the night, it's important to know in your heart, it's all about the people. At the end of the day, Reverend Temple and I just had a conversation a couple weeks ago, and I said, my focus in ministry has always been about the people. It's not about the platform, it's about the people. And if I can touch you and share some love DNA with you, that's all my ministry. I will get to, if there's a heavenly gate and I run through it, I hope, the pearly gatekeeper says, Richard, job well done. You shared the DNA ministry like you have never even realized. And I commend you for marching forward and doing this, and we love you and welcome to the ministry.
The fruition of. You will definitely walk out those doors differently than you walked in those doors. Whether your ministry ends up being a very personal ministry that you want to share with the world, or you decide to become a minister in a church with a congregation. Whatever your ministry is, it's your ministry. Here at First Unity Spiritual Campus, we are an innovative, electrifying, wonderful community because Reverend Dr. Temple Hayes created it over the last 18 years. So think of that and think, what will you create in your ministry? And I'm about to take the baton from Temple and we'll go on from there. But the components of a ministry are, number one, the community, the people. And we are such a diverse, energetic, eclectic group of people in this spiritual community that sometimes that can be a challenge, because you have people that are coming to you who maybe grew up Catholic, and then people who grew up Baptist, Pentecostal, people who grew up Muslim, people who grew up Buddhist, people who grew up from a wide world of cultures and religions, but they've all come together to be part of the same community. And then what it becomes for you to teach them is it matters not where you came from, what you learned, but that you go with that common thread of love, of accepting people without judgment. So that's my way forward for First Unity Spiritual Campus, is that all the seekers out there in the world can come to First Unity Spiritual Campus and seeking a path. Maybe they decided, I'm tired of my church. It doesn't do what it doesn't do what it used to do for me. It's not resonating with me anymore. I want to find a place that resonates with me. And maybe somebody comes to town and they say, I haven't been to church in 50 years, but I saw something that y'all are doing and I felt a calling to come here. And then we just embrace them in love without judgment, accepting them where they are and loving them unconditionally, just as God is out there in everything. And God is good. God is here within each and every one of us. And God is good. And so if we come together and accept all those seekers coming to find a community in love, unconditional love and non-judgment, they become part of a community where they feel that they came home. They feel welcome. They feel embraced. They feel loved. And then we have a community that comes together of our artists. Our artists come together, teach each other art, bring in art. They bring in all the art of the world, whether it's song, whether it's dance, whether it's painting, whether it's a new book. You bring that gift to the community, and the community is better for it. The community grows with spiritual innovation and personal growth. And then we have our sacred activists, our boots on the ground, people that are out there chanting and saying, what's right, what's wrong. No, we can't live like that. We can't live like that. We have to live loving each other. And then we have our healers in our community. And you will find that you are a healer, whether you ever thought that of yourself or not. From this day forward, you are a healer. People will come to you for sacred healing. They will come to you when they can't find the words. They will come to you when they're going through something, whether it's a loss of a family member, loss of a loved one. And Spirit will give you the right words to say, to comfort and be with them. And you will help them in that healing process through grief. And through affirmative prayer and meditation, you will instill in the people that you talk to that they are good, that they are whole, they are healthy. So from this day forward, I say, go forth. Go forth and bring on your ministry, whatever that is, for each of you. It'll probably be different for each of the three of you. But you step boldly forward into the world. Like Wanda said, what Spirit puts in your heart, it's not going to be the same. But what Spirit puts in your heart, that's what you're going to step forward and step into. And you will be amazing. I know it. God bless you.
We want to pray this blessing upon you and your families, your children, their children. We pray this upon you. May God bless you and keep you. Make a face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May Spirit turn its favor toward you and give you peace. Everybody sing that with me. May God bless you. May God bless you and keep you. And keep you. Make her face to shine upon you. To shine upon you and be gracious to you. May Spirit turn. It already has its favor toward you and give you peace. And give you peace. And we seal that in the atmosphere. Everybody be singing amen. We know that Spirit has turned its favor toward you. And it will give you peace. Everybody again, sail that in the atmosphere, singing amen. children and their children and their children. May God's favor be upon you and 1,000 generations and your family and your children and their children and their children. May God's favor be upon you and 1,000 generations and your family and your children and their children and their children. May God's favor be upon you and 1,000 generations and your family and their children and their children and their children. May His presence go before you and behind you and beside you, all around you and within you. God is with you. God is with you in the morning, in the evening, in your coming and your going, in your weeping and your rejoicing. God is for you. 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 And we pray this, and we pray this, and we bless you, and we bless you, and we bless you.
So, just like life, when you come to support other people, it's amazing all the gifts you receive yourself, isn't it? I mean, I feel like just truly have been blessed and resurrected in so many ways. It's just really magical. I'm going to invite our incredible reverends to come up as we do the last phase of the ordainment for you. Yes. And thank you for helping Reverend Sandra. We're coming to the close of our program and bringing in that energy. So I'm going to invite you to, let's see, because we want everybody to see you. I mean, I feel like I'm part of a wedding, you know. We want them to see you, and I'll somewhat stand on the side. And so in front of so many brothers and sisters, will you be willing to walk the path of honor and respect? Will you be willing to teach others how to treat you?
I will.
For you know, that is the greatest responsibility of life. It is your responsibility to teach others how to treat you. Will you hold a world without division, knowing that where there is division, it is yours? Will you open your eyes to heal and reveal a space that carries forth shadow and light? Will you understand that often in any level of community or whatever your card or your website says, yes? Will you hold an awareness that more often than not, your biggest adversaries are your greatest blessings? May you hold the place, and will you hold the place that nothing or no one is ever against you? And will you hold the depth of your heart that the path that you must follow will be unique and original, and it may take turns other than what you originally thought? Will you be willing to be humble and be filled with grace? Will you understand at the core of your being that the most important encounter you will ever have in your life is the one that is right in front of you? And will you surrender to what is greater than you are and allow Spirit within you to lead you? Will you understand that your personality is your friend, not your guide? Will you? Will you activate and ignite and join me and all of us gathering together and holding the sacred space for each and every person here? May you realize the great blessings of the awareness of who you are. May you hold steadfast in this moment an instantaneous healing of all the people before you and of all the moments and all the conversations. May you ignite within yourself the inner power and awareness that you may realize that your greatest quest to be a healer is to continue to be committed to healing the confusion or the illusion within yourself. And that each time you see something external that you do not understand, it's time to go to work. Will you understand the work isn't the external? The work is on you. Yes? And so we hold this journey sacred. And it's been my honor and my privilege to mentor you for almost 2 years. You have been my sacred friends. You have been my teachers. Instructive all, kind and unkind, the path is the path. And nothing is by accident, other than the confusion in our mind. So be it, and so it shall be.
And I'm now going to place honor cords on each of you, so I will go over, then come back and explain what they mean. May you wear your ILLLI cords, honor cords, proudly. And so the audience and you will always know, this is how you start to collect these. So the colors are light blue and white, which are the ILLLI colors. You are forever an alumnus or an alumni, if together, plural, singular, of the Institute for Leadership and Lifelong Learning International. You are always our first graduates. So the blue represents the throat chakra, which is blue means communication. So may you always speak your words without blame or judgment. Blue also represents education. And the root word of education, as some of you know, is eduque, which means to draw forth. So may you always continue to draw forth the gifts that are within you and see those gifts in other people who may be confused. And the white is representative of always being open to everything but attached to nothing. Seeing everything every day as a new day, seeing every experience as a new learning opportunity. We are committed as lifelong learners, all of us. Lifelong, we are always learning. You are completing your program here tonight. but really it is an ongoing journey of exploration within you. And that's all I have to say. Just every time you wear those cords, wear them proudly. And know that you are always with us. We're always here to support you, to mentor you. And we look forward and thank you. You are now part of our institute as graduates. Congratulations.
And so remember, there's cake in LaGatutta Hall. If you're not familiar with what LaGatutta Hall is, that's all the way down the hall, our social hall. And let us stand and complete, I think, with the unity prayer, right? That feels like it, yes? And otherwise I'll break into singing and you'll regret it. So, what a night, huh? Are you glad you came? Do you feel blessed by all the hearts and all the individuals sharing? So we hold sacred for you. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the presence. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. For God is amazing, and all the time. God bless you, and let me just say from my heart how much it means that all of you showed up tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.